We're usually doing a fish thing around here, but this week we're going to make an exception, a tiny one, for our guy, Billy Ocean, because when the going gets tough, the tough get going. Welcome to the Mafia Minute, where we're always doing a Buffalo Bills thing. I am Magnum Mills here with the captain, Jamie G, talking about the Bills win over the Colts in Week 10. We are going to wrap that up in a hot minute. But first, you need to know that the Mafia Minute is presented by CSGAP Fantasy Football. You can find us wherever you get your podcasts and on YouTube. We're on social media at CSGAPFF. Find us on the web at mafiaminute.com. Very easy and simple to remember, just like the flaps, FLAPS. Follow, like, and please subscribe. If you had fun, make sure you hit the thumb. Jamie G, you got the captain hat on. I think that's usually a good sign. I forget how all the superstitions work, but you have to be feeling pretty decent, despite the fact that you had to sweat that one out a little bit more than you might have liked.
Look, feeling great. What's up, Bills Mafia? Good to be here with y'all. Look, 8-2. Take them out, we can get them. I'm proud of the Bills for going on the road. They shot themselves in the foot several times. They weren't great in the red zone early on. They had a couple turnovers, but at the end of the day, this game was a blowout. I know they got the touchdown late, made it only a 10-point game against our fourth and fifth stringers, but they went on the road. They beat a good team. These are all good things, man. They're not always going to be picture perfect, but proud of the Bills for winning a road game, a win that honestly we should have had and we did win. You got to win the games you're supposed to win, and I'm really proud of the Bills for winning the games they're supposed to win here. And look, man, we're 8-2. Go Bills.
Doing what you're supposed to do is underrated in terms of its difficulty. It's not always easy to just do what you're supposed to do. I'd ask everyone's ex-wives about that. Let's get into a little Bills on parade, the latest Buffalo Bills news and whatnot. Not a ton here, obviously. We're doing this Monday after the victory, so most of the stuff's related to the game. But I will say, Jamie G, did you ever know that the grass isn't always greener on the other side? Former Bills linebacker Taron Johnson is being released by the Seahawks. He's going to be subject to waivers. Whoever claims him will be responsible for the remainder of his salary. It's about $1.1 million. What do you think? You've been doing the reunion thing with some success. Any interest in a further reunion here?
I think so. I mean, we just put Balin Spector on IR. We don't know how long that's going to be. The only thing I will say that could potentially change this is the fact that we do have Matt Milano, the practice window opened, and Darrell Williams has been playing pretty good here. So not Darrell, sorry, God damn it. And second, Dorian Williams has been playing pretty well. All that said, though, I think they would welcome back Tyrell Dotson. He played very well last year, replacing Matt Milano down the stretch. I thought he played well. He understands the system. He's a good locker room guy. I think he would like to come back home to the Bills. I wouldn't be mad at all if they make this happen.
This is a case where he is subject to waivers, which run in the inverse order of the standings, so the teams with the fewest wins will have the first shot at him. And this could be a case where teams kind of the agent makes it known that he wants to land on a contender or something like that. So I think there's at least a shot if the Bills are interested in him coming back home to Buffalo. And how about a little numbers here? We like the numbers here. We got all numbers. The Bills. This is a bad one, Jamie G. The Bills did not have success throwing the ball on first down. 4 of 10 for 25 yards and 2 interceptions. You have to wonder, was James Cook not available on first down or something like that? Just something to keep in mind. And we're going to talk about the injuries in a minute, but you worry a little bit about Dalton Kincaid, but Dawson Knox stepped up, season high 70% of offensive snaps against the Colts, had a couple of big catches. The Buffalo Bills are 8-2. That's their best start since 1993. Go ahead, I'll pause as you knock on wood. And we're not looking ahead yet. Same thing here, but you should know that the Bills are currently 2.5 point favorites in Week 11 at home against the Chiefs. And you should also know in his career, Patrick Mahomes has done very well as an underdog. He's 11-1-1 against the spread as an underdog. The only time he lost was in 2022 when the Chiefs were, I mean, wait for it, 2.5 point underdogs in Buffalo. Will history repeat itself? I don't know, but I am hopeful it will do so. Jamie G, give us an update on the Bills injury report. What's the MASH list looking like coming off of that win in Week 10?
Well, we got a couple of names on the list to start out here, Mills. First off, we've got Amari Cooper with the wrist. He was out in the game. Week 11 expectations. Look, I was confident he would play in week 10. The fact that he didn't causes me a little bit of concern here down the stretch. It makes me wonder if they'll keep him for one more week and then get him in the bye and essentially give him a, 2, 3 weeks here to heal before the next game. He has been wearing a hard cast. That's not a great sign when it comes to an injury. I'm more doubtful than hopeful at this point, but we'll see. We'll see. Would really use him against the Chiefs here in this game, but I understand if he's not ready to go and they want to give him the additional week in the bye. Next up, wide receiver and Keon Coleman also dealing with the wrist. He was out. McDermott already ruled Coleman out for week 11, but it's somewhat encouraging that he hasn't been placed on IR yet. I know that McDermott weirded us all out earlier in the year when he didn't put Taron Johnson on IR, and then basically he didn't play for as long as it would have been to be on IR. But I think we're at least hopeful here that this is less than 4 weeks. The bye certainly helps. My guess is they give him this week, give him the bye. It's essentially a month by the next time he plays. 4 or 5 weeks. I think that's enough time to get him back for that first game out of the bye. Dalton Kincaid was injured in the game, Mills. He left. It was a knee, tried to come back. He made it on the field for 2 snaps and then was ruled out. They pulled him from the game. I'm a little bit worried here. Dalton Kincaid did say that he thought he could go, but just didn't feel good enough to be able to run and get out there and protect himself. So hopefully, a week or two here, we'll see. Rumor on the street is this is a PLC, which is good that it's nothing season ending or super long term, but there are some varying time frames here, anywhere from basically 1 to 6 weeks. So we just don't know. I'm hopeful he comes back, but we don't have any official word as of yet. In better news, the Bills are opening their 21-day practice window for All-Pro linebacker Matt Milano. He tore his biceps in preseason, coming off a leg injury in Week 5 last year. We're dying to see number 58 in Buffalo, Mills. We cannot wait to see him out there. There's zero, there's really not a chance he's going to suit up against Kansas City, but opening the window now before the bye week, it's an encouraging sign, and maybe we'll see him out of the bye week or the week after. I'm really excited about getting him out there. Basically, where we're at with this thing is injuries, they're part of football. The Bills are pushing the limits again this year of how many pass catchers they can operate without. They could be without 3 of their top 4 passing game weapons against Kansas City. Matt Collins definitely stepped it up this week and last week. Dawson Knox showed up this week. Can they do the same against the 9-0 Chiefs? A lot of questions to be answered here.
And those questions will be answered on the next episode of the Mafia Minute. But before we get there, we have to do the Week 10 review. Let's start out with Jamie G's final score prediction. Dude, I thought you were about to do it, man. You're about to have your maybe the best prediction of the season before that garbage time touchdown by the Colts. You said it was going to be Buffalo Bills 27, Indianapolis Colts 13. It wound up being Buffalo Bills 30, Indianapolis 20. Oh, so close. It could have been 30-13, almost exactly right there. Good for you. I will say later on that did screw me over somewhere else, but nothing to say other than your Miss Cleo stuff's working pretty good. Keep doing whatever your superstitions are. I like the way it's unfolding as we have gotten here to this point, and we're at the point where I need to know your keys. Jamie G's keys. You know my keys. You had some keys to victory for week 10. I need you to hand out some grades, evaluate your keys. Did the Bills manage to get it done, or did they manage to get it done despite missing on the keys?
Yeah, first up, the first key of Jamie G's keys was stop the run. This is really a tale of 2 halves. I think they did in the second half. First half was an epic fail. Overall, I'm going to grade this as a fail. Yes, Jonathan Taylor had one big run. I think it was 58 yards. But he did, he had 20 carries for 56 yards outside of that. But we got to include it. That 58-yard run happened, and Taylor almost single-handedly kept the Colts in the game, especially in the first half. Over 100 yards in the first half. Just unacceptable. They shut him down in the second half, but that first half, 100 yards in the first half, overall, it's a fail. I like the adjustment, but overall, it's a fail. Number 2, get Joe Flacco off his spot. Mills, this is going to be a pass for me. They got the early pick-6. It took him a while to really get heat on Flacco here, but once we did, he was sufficiently rattled. He threw another 2 picks. He took 4 sacks, one of which was a strip sack by Gregory Rousseau, recovered by Damar Hamlin. Awesome defensive play. It was closer than we would have liked, but he finished 26 of 35, 272 yards and 2 touchdowns, but he did have all those interceptions. 7, 8 point yards per carry was slightly better than Josh, but it doesn't really matter because at the end of the day, this was a blowout win for the Bills. Number 3, start fast on offense. This is also unfortunately a fail. We got the ball going, but we stalled in the red zone twice. This should have been, we got 7 points right out the gate. This should have been 17-3 and over by the end of the first quarter. And the Bills, they let Indianapolis stick around. And it's mostly because we stalled in the red zone. It was definitely start fast on defense, like I said, but our first 4 possessions on offense were punt, 3 and out. We've gotten a 4th and short on our side of the field. Coach McDermott elected to punt. We kicked a field goal next. We had a turnover on downs because we were in field goal range, decided to go for it on 4th down and didn't get it. And then we had an interception. So not good enough, man. That's at least 2 times there we gave up points. And it really hurts getting the field goal. We could have had, 2 field goals. We got 1, went for it on 4th down on the other one. But all in all, not good enough. That's a fail. Number 4, don't let them hang around. Mills, this is tough. It's a pass, but it might be D for diploma here. I mean, look, we put up 10 points late in the first half. We failed to score in the third quarter. We eventually put the game away in the 4th, but it would have been really nice to score in the 3rd quarter, put some real distance between us. Shout out to the defense for keeping the Colts off the scoreboard in the 3rd quarter as well, and 0 points there. We ended up pulling away, but it took a lot longer than it should. But I'm gonna say a pass is a pass here, given the outcome of the game. Those were Jamie G's keys.
And then you had some predictions. You were coming in hot here, and you come in Buffalo Wing style because you have 3 predictions: 1 mild, 1 medium, 1 hot. Like you graded your keys, I need you to grade your predictions.
Came in with a mild, and this one was more of a traditional mild than a Buffalo mild. It was mild, but mild nonetheless. I said the Bills will have over 200 yards of total offense. This is a resounding pass. They had over 400 yards of total offense. Probably not the hottest of predictions, but you know what? You're making a mild wing. You don't want to mess it up. You went mild. We went truly mild. Medium, I went pretty spicy on this one, Mills. I said the Bills will score in every quarter. Unfortunately, this is a fail. We did not score in the 3rd quarter. We did score in the 1st, 2nd, and 4th, though. So got 3 out of 4, but we didn't get there. So this is a fail. And then coming in hot, I came in blazing hot. I said for the 10th consecutive week in a row, the Buffalo Bills defense would force a turnover. And this is A+++++. Bitch! Yeah, that's right. I'm full-blown Jesse from Breaking Bad here. Bitch! Yes, we got a super pass here. This is about as passing. This is the best grade I ever got in college, Mills. This is way off the charts. We had 3 interceptions, recovered a fumble, and even scored on defense. Hardcore pass on my hot. 2 out of 3, Mills. It was enough to win the game.
When you said Jesse from Breaking Bad, I just assumed you were going with they can't keep getting away with this after the Chiefs won the game on the blocked field goal here. But maybe I'm crossing the streams and that's a Ghostbusters reference. Anything else on the game you would like to highlight? We're going to hand out a couple of awards here in a minute, but just any particular aspect of the game we haven't discussed already that you would like to touch on.
The running game for just a minute, it wasn't as robust as we've seen in weeks past. I did cash on the James Cook over 62.5 rushing yards he got there. It was more of a slow and steady approach. I want the Bills to be able to stick with this despite what's going on because I think it's so important to our offense. That, and I felt like Josh Allen was forcing the ball a little bit to Curtis Samuel. Don't get me wrong, it was hitting at first, but then he was just kind of forcing it and it led to some errant decisions. So I don't know if that's just a matter of double coverage on Khalil Shakir, teams trying to take him away, and he was trying to feature Samuel or what. But let's get back to checking it down to the backs. There was plenty of plays to be made with both James Cook and Ray Davis and Ty Johnson coming out of the backfield open for 6, 7, 8 yards. Take those. You don't go broke. taken a game. So I just want the Bills to stick to those things going forward here. But we went on the road and we won. And shout out Bills Mafia. You guys showed up. It was so loud on third down when the Colts were on offense. It was awesome. You guys were fantastic. Cannot wait for this primetime game against the Chiefs coming up week 11, baby, in Buff. It is going to be special.
Bills Mafia has them traveling fans, and it's time to travel into the award tour. And we're going to start out with the Mafia moment. Jamie G, what is your favorite moment from this victory over the Colts?
Plenty to choose from, but I've got to go with my man Taron Johnson with the pick-six, first offensive snap out of the Colts. What an incredible play! And honestly, this was not an easy return for a touchdown. This could have been an interception where it goes down. Bills get the ball within the 20 or whatever. Now he went all the way on the other side of the field, ran it in for the touchdown here. Awesome way to start the game. He should have had a second interception. Bills defense in general, not good against the run in the first half, outstanding against pass the entire game, and generated a bunch of turnovers. But shout out Taron Johnson, man. Came back from that broken forearm. He's been getting into form. Pick six in this game. It was big.
Oh, that was huge. That play I definitely saw on the red zone right away, and you felt very good about their chances at that point. And I bet you have at least one player you feel that good about, your Mafia MVP. Got to hand it out, man. I know there were a lot of players that stepped up, but who stands out the most? Who wins the trophy for the Week 10 victory? Jamie G, Mafia MVP.
He doesn't like to take elevators because they don't need to take him to places he can get on his own. He doesn't wear shoes unless he's forced to because he doesn't need them. I got to go with kind of an unsung hero and somebody I'm absolutely falling in love with, and I know Bills Mafia is absolutely falling in love with. He's a locker room favorite. I got to give it up for Mac Hollins, man. This is 2 weeks in a row. He really stepped up. He had a critical play ending the second half where he caught a deep bomb on a scramble from Josh, got up, caught it while sliding, got up immediately, realizing he wasn't untouched, went out of bounds to stop the clock. Just an outstanding play. I really, really appreciate Matt Collins. Not only does he block, play special teams, but he really stepped up when he needed it in the passing game these last 2 weeks with the injuries we've had at the wide receiver position. Shout out Matt Collins, man. He gets my MVP.
I'm not one to toot my lower horn, at least in public, but I told you were going to like that signing when you made it as a former draft pick of the Philadelphia Eagles. Again, it can give you everything MVS was going to give you with special teams production and, good locker room presence, all that stuff. So I think A plus on that signing, but we're not at that point. We're at the point where we have to evaluate our Bills bets from the week. Unfortunately, this didn't work out as well as the final result did for the Bills. I had the Colts under 19 and a half points. That looked absolutely great until that last garbage time touchdown. Did nothing for anybody, but it cost me my Bills bet. JBG, you went back to the well with Josh Allen, 2+ passing touchdowns. It was the rare 0 passing touchdown day for Josh Allen. Did run one in, but unfortunately, that did not get her done. On our tripod, our 3-leg single game parlay, we only hit one of 3 legs. That was Khalil Shakir, 50+ receiving yards. Even that one we had to sweat out. We had the Josh Allen 2+ passing touchdowns. Did not get there on that, obviously. And Dalton Kincaid over 4.5 receptions. Again, maybe he gets there if he plays in the second half, really, but didn't happen. So that's what we're dealing with on the season. We're still up about 819 Bills Bucks, leading the way with our tripods, followed by Jamie G. I am taking up the rear, unfortunately, right now in the caboose. And if you were playing on DraftKings last week, we had our draft Joshes. These are your, at least I'd say our recommendations for those DraftKings showdowns involving the Buffalo Bills. We said you should have Josh Allen a captain. That was probably fine. What you really wanted was the Bills defense special teams at captain. That was the way to go. Then you put Josh Allen in the flex. Our favorite value play was Dalton Kincaid on the high end. Obviously, that did not work out. But again, we'll toot our lower horn here. We did have Mac Hollins as our cheaper value play, so that definitely worked out. On the other side of the ball, we said, hey, if you're paying up, you could probably play Josh Downs. That was okay, but we did say if you want a value play on the Colts side, play Adney Mitchell. AD all day Mitchell stepped up here. He was only 1,400. That worked out well. Neither of our stacks, pairs, trios really worked because we had Dalton Kincaid, Khalil Shakir, in most of those, but you really wanted, again, like I said, Bills DST a captain, Josh Allen, James Cook, Jonathan Taylor, AD Mitchell, and then substitute your favorite. One last order of business before we get out of here, and that's our guy, the Mafia Mannequin. If you've ever seen the movie Major League, this is something similar, but in the movie Major League, they had a mannequin with clothing on, and every time they won, they would take something off. We're doing the reverse of that. We started out with basically a naked mannequin, and every time the Buffalo Bills win a game, we get to put something on the mannequin, add something to his repertoire around him, do various things. We started out with just this mannequin in a pair of boxer shorts. Since then, he's got some aviator shades. He's got a chicken wing head. He's got a diamond necklace. He's got a Zubaz cape. He's got some Zubaz beers. He's got a pet ocelot named Babu, a chicken wing hat, Fitzmagic's beard. He's got it all, Jamie G. He's doing it right now, looking fly as hell. What are you adding to the mannequin going into this big Week 11 matchup against the Chiefs? This tailgate's going to be on national television, man. The mannequin's going to be everywhere. What are you putting on him to show off here?
This is going to be a wild tailgate, wild game in Western New York. I'm just telling you right now, if you can go to any game, this is go. This is going to be a wild one. He's awesome. If I saw him out at the tailgate, bro, I would automatically go up and be like, dude, I need to have a beer with you. Like, he's that cool. But it's getting to be winter. We added on that playoff beard last week. We got to give him a little bit of clothes, man. And we're going to start at the bottom, work our way up to the top. Let's give him some awesome Bills themed tube socks. Let's get him. I want knee high. Let's cover up those calves, keep them cold, keep them warm for the winter months ahead.
Well, back in the day, you would have those long socks that to smuggle beers into the stadium. Once upon a time, people would have contests to see how many cans of beer they could smuggle in the stadium. But I don't know any of those people for sure. I do not. Whatever legal entities are watching that. All right, some socks. It's not the most inspiring, but I guess you want to take it easy, give some room to grow here. I respect that. We will find some nice socks for our guy, the mannequin. And again, if you saw him at the tailgate, everyone would want to take the selfies. It would be cool. We'll try to make that happen. We'll see what we can do. Next up will be our Week 11 preview of that big matchup against the Chiefs, but that's not coming out for a couple days. Jamie G, anything you'd like to add before we get out of here?
Enjoy it, Bills Mafia. We're 8-2. This is our best start since 1993. Our last time going to the Super Bowl. We're a good football team. We're getting better every week. We're overcoming adversity, injuries, all those things. Let's enjoy this one. Let's celebrate and let's get geared up, man. We got a big one here heading into the bye. I want everyone to bring it, put everything they've got on the line against this game, against the Chiefs. Let's beat them at home, and then let's have a week off to recoup, rest, get ready for the rest of the stretch as we play into December, January, and hopefully February. Don't forget, make sure you understand this is a 425 game, which gives 4 extra hours of tailgating. And I cannot wait to see you guys at the stadium. Absolutely madmen, 80,000 maniacs. Let's get it. Enjoy the win. Let's get geared up. We got a big one on Sunday. Go Bills.
Thank you very much for checking out the Mafia Minute presented by CCAP Fantasy Football. Once again, find us wherever you get your pods and on YouTube, on social media at CCAPFF, on the web at MafiaMinute.com. Very easy to remember, just like the flaps. Follow, like, and please subscribe. If you had fun, please press this thumb. I'm Magnum Mills. He's Jamie G, and he's going to get you hyped for this upcoming matchup and the upcoming matchup preview from the Mafia Minute.
Bills Mafia, where else would you rather be than right here, right now? We got the Queefs coming to town, and guess what? They're about to get their first loss. Let's go. We'll see you right here in a couple of days, right here on the Mafia Minute. Go Bills.